Hello and welcome to Thursday's Look East. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, first day back and free school meals. But who's paying for them and can our schools cope?
It's been quite an ordeal making sure that everything's been done on time, and staff are very keen to make sure that the children had a hot meal inside them on their first day here at school. So it was all hands on deck.
Also tonight, the Chancellor gives his backing to the best of British as Weetabix launches a new line with a Chinese twist.
We'll be here later in the programme celebrating a windfall for disability sport with the help of a Paralympic champion and a Hollywood star.
And the untold story behind the fight to invent radar.
Good evening. First tonight, it's costing the government £600 million, but promises to improve the health and achievements of children across England and reduce the pressure on parents. From today, all 4 to 7-year-olds and disadvantaged students in sixth form colleges should be offered a free hot school meal. The government will pay schools £2.30 for each meal they serve, which should save parents an average of £437 a year. It's also spent almost £9 million improving kitchen and dining facilities at schools in this part of the region. But still, some have struggled to serve hot food, as Mike Cartwright reports.
This is school meal production on a massive scale. A council-run kitchen preparing thousands of dinners for primary schools across Cambridgeshire, Bedfordshire, Northants and Essex. More than 300 schools. But free lunches now means a third more mouths to feed.
Prior to the summer holidays, we were doing somewhere in the region of 14,000 meals a day from transporting out to all of those schools. We anticipate that will increase to around 20,000 plus from now through into October.
At this primary school in Bedfordshire, the head teacher welcomes the move, despite having to construct a kitchen and convert a classroom. Previously, it was packed lunches only here. Now, 60 out of 75 pupils have a hot meal.
We've had to convert the storage area for the school tables into a serving hatch area, which has meant the tables have come into the hall where we would normally do PE, and so our small Victorian space has shrunk somewhat.
In the Peterborough area alone, beforehand, just under 2,000 pupils were entitled to a free school meal. That number now jumped to nearly 9,000. As primary schools across our region, like this one near Cambridge, it's free school meals for children aged from around 4 to 7 years old. So what are parents saying about this at the school gates?
I think a lot of people are agreeing that it's a good idea. The only thing is you never know whether your child's actually eaten anything, because of course they don't always say.
There's probably more urgent things they could spend the money on, but I'm not complaining about free school meals. Why only year 1 reception, year 2? Because older children, they can be hungry as well.
Those who eat a healthy school meal perform better than those who don't, pilot studies have shown. From today, all in their first 3 years of school are entitled to eat for free. Mike Cartwright, BBC Look East.
Well, this new free schools meal policy was devised and introduced by the Liberal Democrats, and as you can see, the Lib Dem MP for Cambridge, Julian Huppert, joins me now. Mr Huppert, you heard one of the parents there ask, why only the youngest children benefiting from this?
I'd like to see it rolled out to everybody at primary school, and that's what we as a party, as the Liberal Democrat Manifesto, will call for that. We have to start somewhere. And the evidence was that it was most helpful to start off with the younger children and then roll it up, because this is a policy which has been worked on for a number of years. It's been trialled thoroughly for 2 years. It's very clear that the children do better as a result of this. Interestingly, in the trials, it was the pupils who already got free school meals who got the most benefit. I mean, we're talking about a 2-month head start. Probably that's because it gets rid of some of the stigma that's always been historically associated with free school meals, as well as the fact that a lot of people entitled to them simply didn't get them.
Well, obviously many people are benefiting from this, which is great, but even some of the parents there said they're sure there are more immediate things to spend money on. £600 million is a lot of money. Are other people losing out?
No, and actually, again, the studies that were done found that this was one of the best ways to help out with children. It makes a huge difference to their ability to learn if they have that good meal in the middle of the day, the social interactions with the teachers, with the other pupils of eating together is really very helpful. They get a more nutritionally balanced diet. It's really very helpful. And we've also got more money for Cambridgeshire schools, of course. I got £23.2 million out of Department for Education.
Which I know is something you've been campaigning for a long time. Some of the schools that we've heard from have had to lose things like sports halls to be able to provide this. Now, is that the right way? Should meals come before exercise?
You need meals and you need exercise, and I think you can get both. So the government's put £150 million towards making the changes that are necessary. I don't know the details of particular schools and how they're coping, but overall this will be very beneficial, and I would hope that no school is actually having to give up on exercise in order to do that. If so, they clearly need to build some more space.
We know that the government has budgeted for 87% of pupils to actually take schools up on this offer. If it's more, can you afford it?
If it's more, that would be firstly a pleasant surprise, and yes, I think we can afford it, because a lot of the costs come from being able to provide that meal. I mean, there are costs associated with that, but of course there were costs to free school meals that existed